please, to introduce a tall figure and
Thank you.
like it takes.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to this press meet. It is our formal invitation to visit us in Visakhapatnam to our Partnership Summit that is being held on 14th and 15th of this month. As already introduced, I had embarked on a Padayatra, 3,132 kilometers, which covered the length and breadth of my state. There are many experiences in my Padayatra that have shaped who I am today, and one of it was a woman called Mohana. And this was one woman who was making bhajis on the side of the road. This was one of the earlier constituencies, during my Padayatra, one of the very first constituencies that I walked. And in there when I met her and I sat next to her and I asked her what she expects from the new government. She said for the last 30 years she's been sitting there making bondas, selling it, and she has 2 kids who she educated very well. She lost her husband to alcohol, and she said that just give them jobs, find them jobs. And this is something that echoed across the youth of Andhra Pradesh. I did various programs like Hello Lokesh and so on and so forth, where their only request was that to create opportunities to work. So, as part of the manifesto committee, we made 6 promises, and the first promise was to create 20 lakh jobs in the 5 years of the NDA government. So it's the Super 6 promise. The first promise is that. So for us, it's not just a target; it is a pledge to the youth of Andhra Pradesh. And this is perhaps one of the biggest employment mission that has ever been undertaken by a state in India. So every single policy that we have created is with a clear focus to create jobs. And that was the single driving agenda with which our policies have been created. So if you look at it in the last 16 months, we've had firm commitments of $120 billion worth of investments. So these are not MOUs that we have signed and forgotten. In fact, quite a few of them we haven't even signed an MOU. So one great example of it is ArcelorMittal. They're going to build India's largest steel plant in already a steel city called Visakhapatnam. South of Visakhapatnam, they're building a steel plant, and we have no MOU with ArcelorMittal. And it got concluded. The entire understanding with Aditya Mittal and I got concluded over a Zoom call. And the second example of it is, of course, Google, which is India's largest FDI investment ever. And that's again coming to Visakhapatnam, our data city. So that's a testimony of how we have attracted global investments. Even if you look at solar manufacturing, out of the top 10 manufacturers in India, 5 of them are setting up their manufacturing plants in Andhra Pradesh. This is in the Rayalaseema part of Andhra Pradesh. BPCL is investing about 1 lakh crore in refinery. NTPC is investing about 1.65 lakh crores building a green hydrogen hub again south of Visakhapatnam. So each of these investments, though we're talking about the investment quantum, for me it is a number of jobs it creates, and that is what is very, very important for me and of course all of us sitting here, and that's the promise that we have made. The Partnership Summit, the theme is quite clear from Andhra's perspective, which is companies driven by speed choose Andhra Pradesh. Across sectors, we have seen that the investment quantum is substantially increasing. Even homegrown companies are investing, even medium-sized companies are investing, north of 1,000 crores in capital expansion, new location. Even a 6 months delay, even a 3-month delay, even a month delay changes their entire business plan. In some cases, it makes it unviable. So speed is the most important thing that is driving investments today here in Andhra Pradesh. That's why companies like TCS, Cognizant, and few more have chosen Andhra Pradesh given the negative sentiment in the sector, because that is the speed that we have delivered. And if you look at it, it's not just in IT, we have extended across blue collar jobs, so manufacturing is core to us. Hospitality is also very, very important. We are one of the very first states to recognize tourism as an industry and give it that status. And the target given by our Honorable Chief Minister is to create 50,000 rooms over the next 3.5 years, because we have finished 1.5 year of a term. So far we have signed about 8,500 keys. The rest we will also complete. So speed is what defines Andhra Pradesh today, and that I believe is our competitive advantage. So a lot of people ask me, why Andhra Pradesh? I'll give you 3 distinct reasons. First one, I think I've spoken about it quite a bit. Our branding is quite clear. Speed. Second is our leader. Mr. Naidu is a leader who has a clear track record of creating new ecosystems, building new cities. So we have an amazing brand, Babu, and we don't hesitate to use it to the maximum extent possible. Please also understand that all the companies that we have grounded are because of the relationships that he has built over the last 4.5 decades of his political career. So these are relationships that we've leveraged, we've worked on, we've interacted, and we're able to ground such amazing companies to Andhra Pradesh. The third clear reason, and I'm sure all of you would have heard in my public speeches also, while many states in India have double engine sarkar, only Andhra Pradesh has double engine bullet train sarkar. I call it the Namo government. Namo is not just Narendra Modi ji, it's Naidu and Modi ji together. So we have the double engine bullet train sarkar, we're working exceptionally hard. We are very much aligned with the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Vikasit Bharat. And we have our Swarnandhra vision, which is $2.4 trillion economy by 2047. So we have clear targets, and for all of you who know Mr. Naidu, he's an extremely tough taskmaster. And we've lost track of what day it is. Monday, Saturday, Sunday, everything has just become another day to work harder. So these are clear, distinct reasons why entrepreneurs are choosing Andhra Pradesh, and why upcoming entrepreneurs, next generation entrepreneurs should choose Andhra Pradesh. So 14th, 15th of November is our Partnership Summit in Visakhapatnam. Thanks to CII for giving Andhra Pradesh the opportunity again. CII and Mr. Naidu have a very, very deep relation. It goes back to the early 90s. If you look at the first sustainable building that we have built in Hyderabad, to various partnership summits that we have done together, I think more than 50% of the partnership summits, close to I think 50% of the partnership summits that CII has held has been with Andhra Pradesh. Combined Andhra Pradesh, now also bifurcated Andhra Pradesh. So I'd like to thank CII for giving us the opportunity to do it. And why do we call this Partnership Summit? So it's an opportunity for investors, policy makers, government, and people to come together to look at what are the next generation opportunities. So what are the opportunities in sectors like quantum, AI, material sciences? What are those opportunities that present? And that's what makes it very unique. Yes, there will be MOU signings, and all MOUs are vetted. All these MOUs will be grounded in 12 months flat. So we expect to sign north of about 410 MOUs in addition to about $120 billion worth of investment. So 120 is already done. This is the next $120 billion. These will create close to 7.5 lakh jobs in the state of Andhra Pradesh. So we are looking at investments across sectors, and this will continue to drive the entire relationship together. Partnership Summit is very exciting. Of course, Piyush Goyal ji is joining us, our homegrown MoCA minister. So Ramu is also going to be there. 300 participants across 45 countries are going to be here. 3 out of the G20 nations are going to be represented. 12 multilateral organizations, and we have 72 international speakers who are also going to attend. While MOUs is one part, the larger part is of course the dialogues, and these are meaningful dialogues that will, we believe, set the tone not only for Andhra Pradesh, for the nation. And thanks to CII, we have 48 sessions including 1 plenary, 27 technical sessions, 3 standalone sessions, and 11 state specific sessions. So Andhra Pradesh is also a part of it, but other states, as this is Partnership Summit, other states also will be represented. And run up to the Partnership Summit, there are many foundation stones that are getting laid, ribbon cuttings are also happening. So you will hear a lot of exciting news coming out of Andhra Pradesh starting tomorrow to the next 3.5 years of this government. So the three-way partnership is a center to Andhra Pradesh. If you look at our policies also, apart from Amravati, which is a people-led movement, farmers have given their land, we are building a greenfield capital city and we're benefiting out of this. But we have also come up with a policy where 10 farmers together can come and build an industrial park together, and we will support it. So as a state, we believe that landowners have an important role to play, farmers have an important role to play. That is why we take this partnership summit true in terms of letter and spirit, and that's what makes again Andhra Pradesh very unique. Yes, we are very ambitious. We will compete. Our motto is very clear: when states compete, India wins. Our target as a state, and the target given to me by the Honorable Chief Minister, is to clearly attract $1 trillion worth of investment. With that as a target, we are working with everyone possible on the planet. We are not country specific, sector specific. Our strength is our cluster. Cluster is where we bring all the industries related to one sector together. And verticals are all the companies that make various components of that particular sector. A great example is, of course, the mobile phones that all of us cannot live without. From the camera lens module to the screen, the Li battery, to the haptic engine, the whole 9 yards, again in one cluster. That's what we call vertical. Horizontal is where I play a larger role as a HRD minister, is that it's education, specialized programs, lifelong learning like skill development, testing, certification, everything coming into one cluster. That is what makes again Andhra Pradesh very unique. So a lot of clusterization, close to 15 clusters are already operational. We have a very strong position. Like 50% of India's air conditioning comes from Andhra Pradesh. Very strong position. Medical devices manufacturing made in India. Again, Visakhapatnam has a very strong role to play in it. So across various sectors, we are open to doing business. You will hear about it quite in detail during our Partnership Summit and post our Partnership Summit. So this is a short and sweet introduction to what we have achieved in Andhra Pradesh over the last 16 months and what we intend to achieve for the next 3.5 years. And then if my friends from media have any questions, I'm willing to answer them. Thank you very much. Let them get a chance, yeah? Telugu media, I'll give you separate. Let English get done, then I'll come back. Yes, sir.
I'm Nivedita from ABP Live. You mentioned the $1 trillion of investment.
Use the mic there.
It's okay, I can hear you. Go ahead.
So is there a time frame by which you want to achieve this? And also in terms of FDI attractiveness, what sort of value do you think Andhra Pradesh would occupy?
Well, pre-2024, that is if you look at pre-NDA government in Andhra Pradesh, we never even figured out in the list of states to invest in. And FDI was, distant. I mean, we were not even relevant. From there to being like attracting the single largest FDI investment in Indian history, to looking at ArcelorMittal now coming in and various other investments coming in. So $1 trillion is a target that we've given ourselves over the next 5 to 7 years. And these are firm commitments. So let's take ArcelorMittal as an example. It's about close to about 1.2 lakh crore investment. It will get invested over 3 phases over 7 years. Google is $15 billion, it will get invested over 3 years. So different companies given the sector have different time frame, but these are all firm commitments. These are not paper companies. That's the clear. And so we are open to FDI investment. While FDI investment is very important for India and for Andhra Pradesh, I believe that homegrown entrepreneurs are equally, if not more important. So for me, it's not just about attracting the next billion or trillion. It's also about ensuring that a small, medium entrepreneur of India also succeeds in Andhra Pradesh. So for me, a mushroom processing unit is as important as a Google data center. So that's what makes again Andhra Pradesh very unique. Right.
Sir, Vizag has already attracted Google. Now the CII Summit is also happening over there at Vizag. What would be the module for this? What kind of module is the state government following, and what for the other districts? The Vizag is had become the hub for investments. What are the abilities for other districts?
No, I think the right word you should use is Andhra Pradesh has become the hub for investment. See, please understand that clusterization is our approach. So if you look at it, Kia is in Anantapur, so automotive hub is Anantapur. Renewable energy hub is North Anantapur and Karnool. In the same zone, we have cement hub. Electronics manufacturing hub is between Kadapa and Chittoor. I'm talking about those 12 districts. Okay? So Kadapa and Chittoor. Nellore already is a very diversified manufacturing hub, and we are continuing to double down on the Nellore ecosystem. Prakasam is the entire compressed biogas ecosystem coming in there. If you look at Amravati, of course the capital is there, all the regulatory bodies are putting up their offices, the new capital city is getting built, but quantum ecosystem is coming in. It's not just about bringing a quantum computer. We are going about chasing the entire manufacturing ecosystem of quantum and next generation quantum. The entire curriculum, the education, the vertical horizontal integration. East-West Godavari is the entire aqua ecosystem. You have the refineries, ports that are coming about, right? And North Andhra is where you have pharma, you have chemical hub, you have medical devices manufacturing, steel city, IT city. So if you look at it, we have a very clear laid out about close to 15 thrust areas and that we're building out. But if you look at the incentives that we give to companies, yes, as a state, we give incentives to companies that choose backward districts more. So while companies that choose X district, which is already a developed district, get a tad bit lower incentives because we want to ensure that development happens equally across the state. So if you see, Oberoi's of the world are building hotels in Rayalaseema and Visakhapatnam, right? Similarly, various other brands are also doing hotels across both. Like that, we're attracting companies. I mean, Kuppam, the Chief Minister's own constituency, has attracted substantial investments that it has never seen. And the reason is because it's on the axis of Chennai-Bangalore, the industrial corridor, the road connectivity. It made all the difference. So we are double down on that.
Hi sir, I'm Sunilatra meeting now. I just have a couple of questions. You mentioned about giving entrepreneurs a push. What specifically are you doing to sort of integrate MSMEs into this huge investment boost that the state is going to expect? You also spoke about electronics manufacturing being one of the sectors. In terms of the kind of investments that we can look forward to from global debt, will you be able to give a sense of that? And lastly, you also spoke about $120 billion worth of investment commitments. How much of these commitments could come from, neighboring countries as far as India is concerned, for instance, China, Vietnam?
So your first question was around MSME. Sorry, I don't have a pen. We're in a digital age era, so I'm not going to write it down. Can I borrow a pen, please? Thank you. So first was about MSME. Sorry, your second one was global breakup, and third one was neighboring. Okay. So regarding MSMEs, right? So we've restarted our entire startup ecosystem. Last 5 years was the bad 5 years for our state, and you know why. So we've restarted our entire ecosystem under the name of Ratan Tata Ji. So it's called the Ratan Tata Innovation Hub, which is based out of Amravati, and there are nodes that go to close to 5 nodes that go to the important districts. There we have specific programs for MSMEs. And we are working with various other organizations, including CII and so on and so forth, on how do you take a 5,000 rupee business and make it a 50,000 rupee business? How do you make a 50,000 rupee business to a 5 lakh rupee business? This is possible when you have mentoring, number one. Number two, when you have educational institutions who are giving a lot of input to the entrepreneurs who are based out of there. So each of these have entrepreneurs leading it. There's next generation entrepreneurs who are part of it. You have educational institutions that have tied to it. And we are in the process of course, raising the money required to also nurture and invest in these startups. So we sort of rebuilding that entire ecosystem, and that's something that we've done. Where greater impetus is there to MSME. First, second, I think we're one of the very first states, one of the very few states where every assembly constituency we have an MSME park. It was yesterday that the Honorable Chief Minister launched the entire initiative. I think phase 1, close to 58 constituencies is where we have an MSME park. Just focus on MSME. So it's about someone who needs 500 square yards to about an acre. So these are your, and they create maximum number of jobs. So we totally understand that. And it's also aimed at promoting local entrepreneurs. So these MSME parks are about entrepreneurs in that particular constituency or entrepreneurs from other constituency who want to be part of that ecosystem, that cluster. So MSMEs, we are it's very close to our heart. When we, in spirit, we're actually implementing our MSME outlook. In terms of investments, that's between domestic and global. I would request you to give me 2 more days. This is merely a curtain raiser. I won't be able to. The entire movie will only get played out on the 14th and 15th. Sir, 120 billion to teaser hai na yaar. You're asking a lot more. In terms of neighboring countries, under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, relationships are substantively improved. And we are seeing a lot of focus now coming back into sectors, especially in electronics. That's very, very good news. It's very, very important to build the entire component ecosystem, and that's something that's again very close to our heart in Andhra Pradesh. So if you look at it, we already have TCL and various other companies that we got in our third term, which is between 14 and 19. TCL is one of the world's largest TV panel manufacturers, and they're doing exceptionally well in the ecosystem that we have built. But we can do a lot more. That's just the beginning again. So again, I'll just give us some more time. Give us 48 hours and you'll hear it out.
I'm Shruti with Bloomberg. I just wanted to get your perspective. How is your state dealing with the US tariffs, and do you think the investment plans which you have, do you think it's likely to get dented by whatever policies US is taking right now?
Well, crisis is always an opportunity. India has always done well when there is crisis. A great example of it is our entire shrimp ecosystem. We have 50% tariffs. Our closest competitor is Ecuador, which has 16% tariffs, so there's a difference there of close to 34%. In that, I've sat personally with the sector because I'm the chair of the group of ministers to create 20 lakh jobs. So anything to do with job creation, it's part of my responsibility. So I sat with the ministers, we've had interaction with the industry, and we proactively looked at how we can help as a state. So one of it is reduction of power tariff to the shrimp farmers. So it was close to, I think, 4 rupees, and now it's down to 1.5 rupee. That itself gives a lot of break. So we sort of worked with the industry to say, well, 34% is the challenge statement. Let's work on the 34%. That's one. 2, we've opened up to new markets. Ukraine, Russia, Australia. So we have proactively worked with the governments there to sort of reopen. Some have closed their markets, so we work with them to reopen the markets. Some are new markets. So I believe at the end of it, the pie will be a lot bigger, and sectors, companies will not be very just one country specific. I think that diversification is always good. So that's been our approach, and I'm sure that we will find a solution as a nation.
So just to follow up, when you're interacting with investors, do you think they are iffy about the investments right now, given the US policies, or they are on board with you now?
Well, if you look at it, South Asia's largest quantum computer is coming from the US to Andhra Pradesh. So it's an example of that. Well, $15 billion worth of investment by Google is happening in Andhra Pradesh. So it's a testimony to that. So that's good.
Sir?
I'm going, if you don't mind, because that's going to come back to you.
So hi, this is Karishma from Business Today. In terms of your capex, from what you got from central and also state capex, how well are you utilizing that in order to attract these investments, and do you seek any additional allocation because of so many investments and interest and opportunities coming to the state? So are you looking to center?
So there are 2 parts, right? One is just the hard infrastructure. Second is the soft infrastructure. So first let me address the hard. So if you look at it, we spoke about the 3 industrial corridors that pass through Andhra Pradesh. We are very lucky in that sense. There are very few states that have that. So there's already money available, and we are leveraging it quite effectively. So Koparthi and Orvakal industrial nodes have got favorable dispensation from Government of India as part of building these nodes. So we are using those resources effectively to build out. Two, we now have a economic region approach. So Visakhapatnam economic region, Amravati economic region, Rayalaseema economic region. So there again, with the clusterization approach, with the forecast that we have, okay, what's going to happen in the next decade, 2 decades, what is the infra, what is the power, what is the soft infra, the whole 9 yards is getting planned out. So we're launching the report of Visakhapatnam Economic Corridor tomorrow. So that will have a lot more details. And then we'll create a special purpose vehicle and we'll go about raising money. And if required, we'll definitely knock on the doors of Delhi. No second thoughts about it. Now let me come to the soft part. This is very, very important. We have to create an enabling environment for industries to thrive. So things like labor reforms, Factories Act. These are subjects that we are going into threadbare. We are working with the industry to understand the challenges. Let's talk about labor reforms, right? Women working the night shift in electronics manufacturing. Today, it's not allowed. So these are nuances that we're sort of working through. I'm also working with the industry to give me feedback on what are the challenges that they're facing at the field level, cutting edge level. So what part of the process can be automated? What part of the permissions can be real time is something that we're working with the industry on. So speed of doing business is something that we take very seriously and we believe is a competitive advantage. Thank you.